What is up, everybody? Welcome once again to the Unrelated Sports Podcast. I'm Andy McConnell, and with me, well, now here's a guy who might be the greatest podcast co-host of all time. It's Mr. Cody Allstat. Cody, how are we doing?
I'm doing wonderful. That is a very unique way to introduce somebody. I've never heard it before. Not like I watch Sunday Night Football ever.
That's good. That's good. I'm happy to help.
Andy, it's good to see you and actually see you.
I know.
New computer.
Yeah, new computer. I mean,
Brand
everything
new man.
loaded nice. Everything loaded nice and quick too. This is a pretty weird feeling. I'm not gonna lie. Usually when I talk, I can see me on the screen here, and it's like a little delay.
Oh yeah.
It's just everything's it's in sync.
In sync. I don't know.
Bye.
Tell me why.
Yeah. No, that wrong boy band. Wrong boy
Is
band
it?
there. Yeah, I think that's Backstreet Boys. The Bye is in sync.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Look at us with pop culture here. You get
Right.
everything. You get everything on the Unrelated Sports Podcast.
Exactly. Maybe not smarter.
Yeah, we educated in ways.
I golfed pretty well today. I shot 9 holes. I shot a 41
That a boy
at Ocean. I was one over going into hole 6, and usually hole 6 is my best hole at Ocean, but I bogeyed it.
That's the par 5, right?
That's the shorter par 5.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
And then I went to end it. I went par or bogey, par, bogey, double bogey.
Holy
And
shoot.
it was rough, but I was still a 41 is pretty good for me. That's my lowest score there. It's not my lowest score ever, but it's my lowest score at that course for 9 holes.
That would be my lowest score ever, so that would have been nice.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Oh, good. Good. Did you lose any balls?
No.
Okay, good.
I've actually been playing with the same golf ball for since our club tournament. Every time I've golfed, I've used the same golf ball.
I've been playing with the same golf ball for the last month.
You put your bags away.
Exactly. That's my point. I haven't been golfing for months, so hence I've been playing with the same ball.
I mean, congratulations.
Were there a lot of people out on the course today, or was it just you and yourself?
So, my son went with me, but when I started at about 8:30 this morning, and I was alone. But when I was coming up 5, there was a group going out on 1, and another group went out on 6.
Okay.
So there was a few, and then by the time I was leaving, which it was 10, and that was with me dawdling. There was a few people starting to show up because it is Men's Day at Ocean. So,
okay. Did Aiden get to golf at all?
He brought out. Today he wanted to use the little kiddie set, which is the older set that he used to play with.
Yeah.
And he hit the putter on that a few times.
Nice.
But he had fun. He was watching something on the iPad for part of it too.
Okay. So he was he had a nice little distraction too.
He also liked to every time we went by a sand trap, he would grab the rake and just start messing around with it. And I'd have to go and clean it up afterwards.
Oh, that's cute though. That's funny.
It was funny stuff.
So, rest of your weekend good though?
Yeah. Didn't do a whole lot. My daughter had a play date and had some Mabes pizza over the weekend. I mean, that's always good.
Yep. Can't go wrong.
How about you?
Little Mabes pizza. Weekend was good. Just really didn't do a lot. Relaxed Saturday, watched football. Relaxed Sunday, watched football and racing. And then I guess Monday, Dad and I went up to Burnsville because he had an appointment for his back, which we got some hopefully positive, encouraging news. So,
and a new computer.
And then went to Costco and got a new computer. So
nice.
We're all good. It was
Costco,
fun.
send us memberships.
Yes. So I guess where do you want to start tonight? Where should we start?
I can start with Wrexham. I'm
Okay.
finally finishing I think I have about half an episode left of third season of Wrexham. Welcome to Wrexham.
Okay.
But they played against Tom Brady's team. I gotta remember there.
Tommy owns a soccer club.
Yeah, he owns part of one.
Is that what all retired football players are doing now?
I
I mean, because J.J. Watt owns or co-owns, I think it's called Burnsley or something like that.
okay. Where was it? Wrexham played. No, come on. Gotta find their schedule.
Okay. Do
September.
do
Uh,
do 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 do.
Birmingham.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Yep. I wish.
Okay.
But Birmingham, they called it the Hollywood Bowl because, Tom Brady versus
Uh,
Ron Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
I gotcha.
Um, well, Birmingham won 3-1. So
Oh, damn it, Tom. Does he lose at anything?
I don't think so.
Like
They,
I heard he even got better as an announcer this past week, and I didn't even get to listen.
I Birmingham is actually Birmingham and Wrexham are the top of League One table right now. I think Birmingham he bought in while they were in League One,
Okay.
so they were in a more established team.
Wait, he still has money? I thought he lost it all in crypto.
I think he had plenty. He's probably getting alimony.
Oh, yeah, then ooh, yeah, you're probably right. Well, actually, he did sign what, a $300 million Fox deal or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah,
So
something
okay,
crazy.
okay, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. WNBA playoffs are starting soon.
That's
This
true.
Sunday.
Yeah, weird. Why start against the NFL? Like, why? What are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah, that's not good timing.
No, no, especially when you have all these new fans and everything, and yeah. But I guess what do we know? What do we know? It's just people here.
Right. We're in the
Uh,
heart of WNBA country right now. I mean, really.
that is true. Yeah, you're right. We are right in the heart, and I mean the person who's at the heart of everything, Miss Caitlin Clark. She dropped 35 on Sunday. Sunday, right?
Yeah,
Um, yeah, she's good. She's kind of good.
she's very good. The
Um,
pundits that were saying that she was going to struggle in the WNBA, they were wrong. She's I wouldn't say she's the best player in the league, but she's in the conversation already. Like,
I would say conversation of at least maybe around the top five. I'll give her that.
yeah,
I
I'm not saying
yeah
that she's number one, but I'm saying she's gonna be.
yeah yeah because her scoring will get more defined going
her
into next
passing,
season. With
her
yeah,
passing will get
passing will get more
better,
defined.
which her passing's already fantastic, but
Hmm.
her teammates will be able to judge it better, get better at catching it. And you know what? She'll have a little bit of time to rest and recoup for the first time in
Yeah,
a long time.
yeah. Like she'll well, 'cause let's see, playoffs start this weekend. Season will be over in about a month. So yeah, and then she'll have yeah, solid like what 6 months basically to rest and
Right.
recoup. So yeah,
Which
that'll be
she
that'll
hasn't
be
had
nice.
in a while because
No,
they did not have from going to from college. I didn't realize that going into college or when she was coming from college into WNBA, there was very little layoff there. Like it's
no, like
2 seasons right back to back, basically.
yeah, because I think they basically had a week off, which is where she spent it. I think like before the WNBA draft, and she spent that in New York, promoting the draft and being on
Yep.
SNL and whatnot. And then they have the draft, and then it's training camp right after that, and then the season starts shortly after. So it's
Yeah.
like bang, 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 bang. Where like when they had the Olympic break, that was like her first like true like just
And
vacation.
she came back from that hot.
Yeah. Well, I mean the whole team in general. I think they were able to relax, they were able to rest, and then they were able to do some little bit of team bonding. Never a bad
Yep.
thing. And they came out guns blazing.
I mean, they went from the worst team in WNBA to
Mhm.
I mean, what are they? The 4 seed,
6, which is very good
6?
that they're the 6 because
Oh yeah,
Las Vegas is the 4, and they're gonna if they win their first round series, they're gonna play New York, who is the 1. So if those two can knock each other out, I mean, it's a little far fetched, but there is a legit window or a legit path for the Fever to go to the WNBA finals, which would be nuts.
yeah. Worst to top 2.
Yeah, and then if somehow they ended up winning it all, like oh, us people in Iowa
People
would
would
not.
be
Yeah,
people would be after Caitlin Clark something fierce. So
yep, yeah, because well, and then all of her haters would really get tracked down because yeah, yeah, I don't think she'd have a rude awakening coming to the league. It's just the other way
no,
around.
but that'll be fun to watch play out over the next few weeks.
Yeah. Something that was also
How,
fun. I mean,
are
oh,
they?
go ahead, sorry.
Are the games? Are they best of series, or are they one game?
I'm pretty sure. I don't quote me on this. I should look this up. I'm pretty sure though. The first round is best of 3,
Okay.
and then the semifinals and the WNBA finals are both best of 5, I believe.
Okay.
Unless if they recently changed that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Perfect.
Because I think it actually initially used to be the first round or like the wild card round or whatever was just one game, and then I think the WNBA finals actually once upon a time only used to be best of 3 as well, and then they expanded on that. But yeah, I mean, the best thing that could happen for the WNBA is they're guaranteed to get at least 2 more games of Kalen after or starting
Yeah.
Sunday. So just keep breaking
the
the news
numbers
on.
drop when she's not there.
Yeah, yeah. No matter how, I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, everybody's watching women's sports now and whatnot," but it's like, are they really outside of?
Right.
I mean, they are, but they aren't. The numbers have grown, but they're not. They're on a different level when Caitlin's playing.
Yes. Yes. It's exponentially higher when she's there versus when she's not.
Yeah. There's a little bit of golf news. Well, I mean, this one's not really news. The PGA and Liv and Saudis, I don't know, they're all having a discussion again of maybe a merger. But there's a caveat that some of the PGA players want the Liv guys to pay their money back that they got.
Oh,
That
I
they
didn't
got
see
from
that.
the Liv. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No.
Like I saw somebody said for full swing, they should already start just videotaping Dustin Johnson just to see what he would say if they told him he has to
Right.
pay his money back. Yeah, because that ain't gonna work. And plus, I think Phil lost all his money gambling, so I don't think he has any back. So yeah, that's just golf just continues to hurt its own self.
We have our weekly visitor
Kittle.
of Bella
Yeah,
being a pain.
she's not being a total pain.
She's swatting you with her tail.
At least to me, maybe to you, she is. I mean, now here's a cat that might be a pain at times, but and then some other golf news: the LPGA or the Women's Tour had their version of the Ryder Cup, the Solheim Cup, over the weekend. I can't remember where in the U.S. it was held, but it was held on U.S. soil, and the U.S. almost gave it away, but they held on to win. So
thank goodness.
Yeah,
I wish there was. I didn't even know what was going on. I wish there was maybe a little bit more fanfare around that one.
well,
But
I heard
women's sports in general.
I heard opening day on Friday they were having big issues even just getting people in, like with parking and everything, like and through buses and shuttles and whatnot. Like it was just a big mess. And then Saturday they turned out, and Sunday fans turned out. So
Good.
yeah, no, that's always good. Let's see. Other than that, baseball's heating up. We're getting closer to pennant race season, which I'll wait because next week we'll kind of have more of a clear picture of who's probably in contention, not just to win the whole shebang, but to at least for playoff contention. Hockey season's going to be starting in about a month.
Yep. Training camps are kind of wrapping up now.
Yep.
Right?
And
getting some preseason games starting soon.
Yep.
Which preseason?
Yeah, it's whatever. And then I don't know, racing wise, there's an awesome finish at Watkins Glen. We're Shane Van Gisbergen made a mistake. Chris Buescher pounced, and they had a pretty epic run to the last half final lap at Watkins Glen, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
And then Formula One, Max Verstappen might not be winning the title potentially. It's gonna come.
That's
It's gonna be close, but
that's
um,
insane. He hasn't won a race in a while.
no, this is a very long drought. This is like when Jimmy Johnson would dominate NASCAR and he wouldn't win for a while, or when Jeff Gordon would dominate and he wouldn't win for a while. You just wonder what's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Unless if Red Bull has some changes coming, they got caught like from behind by McLaren and by Ferrari. So it'll be interesting.
That's good. I like it to be more competitive. I mean, it was kind of boring. I know that there's a lot of Max Verstappen fans, but
Yeah.
it's nice to see somebody else or seeing different names at the top of the leaderboard.
Here's the funny thing. Now, because McLaren's dominating, people are actually feeling sorry for Max, and they're actually starting to become more pro Max. It's funny how that works. And they're starting to hate on Lando Norris. It makes zero sense.
Yeah. You just hate whoever's winning, really. I mean, look at people used to hate the Patriots. Now, I've heard some people, not me, almost feel sorry for the Patriots, and I'm not there. Now they're hating on the Chiefs, but
But people still feel sorry. No, no. If they're Boston sports fans, we do not feel sorry
I
for any
know.
outside of when the Red Sox finally broke their streak, and then when they were going through all the stuff after the Boston marathon bombing and stuff. Everybody's rooting for Boston. I mean, especially with Big Poppy and everything. But other than that, no, nobody cares about Boston. No, everybody hates Boston sports. It's like New York sports. Outside of maybe the Knicks, nobody feels sorry for any of those teams.
No.
Even the Jets or the Giants.
Okay, no, I don't. No. But
yeah, I don't.
In that segue,
yeah. Do you want to ask it, or do you want me to ask a question? What do you got?
I'll ask it.
Okay.
Andy, you want to talk about football?
Well, now here's a guy that asked a perfectly good question. I thought you would never ask. Okay, I want to start out before we get to anything. Shout out to my cousin Garrett Allendike, who had a heck of a freaking game on Saturday against Dayton. The Indiana State linebacker had 16 tackles, 1 fumble recovery, which he returned all the way for a touchdown, and earned Missouri Valley Conference Defensive Player of the Week honors. So
stud, huge game. 16 tackles.
Yeah,
is insane.
Yes. Very and help. It was cool too that a bunch of like my family and stuff were down there too. So
yeah,
that was good.
How many offensive plays does a team get in a game?
I'd say like 70,
60?
maybe 60, 70. Yeah.
He was involved in 25% of the tackles. Like,
yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah. And I mean, Indiana State's defense it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
They had also had a pick six, like an 80 or I think it was 80-yard pick six, 80 or 90-yard pick six to open the game. So shout out to Garrett.
Their defense kind of sounds Iowa-esque. They score more than their offense sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. I mean, it's just.
I know you've said that their offense struggles.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, got their first win of the year. That's big, and now they have a bye week, and then they can hopefully get because their starting quarterback was hurt too. I guess he got hurt 2 weeks ago. Hopefully he'll be back. Their next game, I think they play school Houston Christian, I believe.
Okay.
Before they go into Missouri Valley play, so.
Fun.
Speaking of quarterbacks that got hurt, there's a quarterback that got hurt this weekend, Cody, starting quarterback who was maybe the Heisman favorite.
Oh, I was thinking you were. God dang. Not a good weekend for Tua.
Oh yeah, no. We'll get into the. We always go college first, and then
I know, but I was confused. My mind went to Tua. Yeah. No. They have a competent backup, I guess you would say, and down there in Texas.
A guy by the name of Manning, Archibald.
He had himself a game.
67-yard touchdown run, and I think he accounted for 4 other touchdowns, I believe.
Yep.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Did you see that he's like now the fifth highest guy to win the Heisman for
Yeah, he
odds?
went from like a 10,000 plus 10,000 to like plus 1,600
That's stupid.
on odds. It is because I mean, I know that he's good and he's going to be their future quarterback, and but Quinn Ewers is also
He
a
might be the
great
number one pick.
quarterback.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
might be the number one pick. Which
yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to be the number one pick right now because you're either going to Carolina or to New York. But we'll dive into that. But yeah, he's kind of good. He does not get the speed from his uncles.
No,
That's good.
he.
Or,
I
or
think
even his
he
dad.
actually
Yeah,
they posted a picture that said he got his speed from on the
from his
SEC
mom.
network. Yeah, from
Yeah,
his mom.
yeah. Which I
So
mean, again, Cooper was a pretty good athlete in his day too.
yes,
He
he
was a wide
was.
receiver,
He was.
but
I actually, I mean, I don't know if this is just something that they said, but they said he was definitely the best athlete of the family.
oh, he was. I mean, and like I said, he had some. I don't know if it was a weird spine condition or he had something weird thing happen in his back that he had to quit playing football. I think after his senior year of high school, I
Okay,
believe,
which sucks, but
because when I read a book where I think it was actually like the Book of Manning, as they want to call it or whatever,
yeah,
but I think it's when he was a senior in high school, Peyton was a freshman, and Peyton was the
okay,
starting quarterback.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, those two were like dynamite. But
Well, I'm sure
yeah,
there was quite the connection.
I'm not gonna lie, it would be funny if Dr. Pepper also signed Arch to come on
Oh,
to
that'd
those
be great.
commercials now, and now have
That
him
would be
fill
great.
in. Um,
Yeah, play into it.
yeah, but yeah, Texas looks good. New number one team in the
Tex-
country now too.
yeah, I don't like that. Don't like that at all.
Yeah, because now Kirby Smart has more ammo for Georgia. You know that they didn't look good at all. Like
They
Carson Beck looked
no,
awful.
they barely pulled it off against Kentucky. What was it, 13-12?
Yeah, well, also because Mark Stoops coached scared. I think he punted on 4th and 1 from the 50 basically, down one, and it's like why?
Yeah, yeah. You have
Um,
you have nothing to lose.
no,
Nobody expects you to win that game.
yeah, yeah.
So, like,
Never
going
coached
at that
scared.
point, no, put the dagger in.
hmm Um, Cody, do we want to talk about Iowa? Do we want to? Do we have to?
I think as of our location, I think we are contract contractually required.
Yeah.
Or
Um,
not contract.
I mean, Iowa's run game, their offense is a little bit better from years past. Caleb Johnson is
Yeah,
a stud.
yeah, he's leading rusher in college football right now.
So that's the good. So let's see which one is the bad and which one is the ugly. I think the bad is the defense and the special teams
Yeah,
because it's not what it has been in years past. Especially giving up a punt return for a touchdown, that was bad.
that
That was
was
so bad.
ugly.
I mean, defense did get a couple touchdowns later in the game, but they're not what they have been.
No,
They're not what they have
like
been.
they were a shutdown defense. Now they're a good defense, which
Yeah,
when you're a good defense doesn't cut it when you have a bad offense. Like when
yeah,
Iowa had a great defense, it didn't cut it when they had a terrible offense. Now that they still have a terrible offense and they have a good defense,
yeah, yeah. And the
they're getting
ugly's
beat.
Cade Mac. Yeah, the ugly's Cade McNamara.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just so bad.
he's not good.
No, no. Why?
But luckily, Kurt is very likely to cut or to bench him and put in their backup because he likes to ride with the hot hand, not
yeah. It's not
oh
again.
no
It's not
wait.
like he. It's not like he ever benched C.J. Beathard at all, or didn't want to put him in because he wanted to roll with Jake Rudock. Good job, Kirk. Good job.
Yeah,
It's time for him to go. It just really
it
is.
is. He's been
Game.
great. He was great for a
Yeah.
long time, but the game has changed around him, and he
Yep.
has not changed with it.
Same thing like Mark Farley at UNI. I mean, you're when you see your division, your conference rivals have gotten better. Like their arrow's pointing up, and your arrow is still just here. Like they haven't won a conference title in 12 years, 13 years. And your other, like the South Dakota State, North Dakota State, there's rumors that they might be getting a deal to
Yeah.
go to the Pac-12. It's
Yeah.
like you're going to have to get better soon. If not, you're just going to get swallowed up, and UNI's going to be left for dead.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, not ideal. But hey, also my Indiana Hoosiers here on my shirt. How would you feel if you got your welcome to the Big Ten moment handed to you by Indiana football? Like, in all
Wow.
honesty, how would
I
you
would
feel?
not embarrassed, I guess would be the word I'd use.
Especially if it happened at home
They're
at the
kind
Rose Bowl.
of the bottom tier. They're kind of the bottom tier of the Big Ten. I mean, like, to be honest.
Yes, we are. Not... Yes, we. Oh no, you're right. I mean, when you've had, say what, maybe 5 winning seasons in the last 20 years or something in that ballpark, it's not great. It's definitely not 10. It's bad. But got a new coach and
like they would kill for Iowa's record.
Who they got from James Madison, who was very good at James Madison. He looks like he's already starting to define his own culture here, which I love to hear that or love to see that.
I lost you for a few minutes there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're a little staticky at my screen, just a little bit. But
interesting. Now I have the shit computer.
I lost Cody again. Oh no, you're still there. Yeah, nah. See, when one problem's fixed, the other one's gone. Or when one problem's gone, the other we got a new problem arises. But yeah, no. Indiana football, they actually look competent, not just on a video game. Which
yeah. You want to talk about that?
Still salty. No, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about that about as much. I know, but I want to talk about that probably about as much as you want to talk about the Dolphins right now. So
yeah, I'm not that salty about the Dolphins. I was more worried about Tua, but I think that they have
That's more what I mean.
They have the talent that they should be able to make they should be able to be competent for the however long Tua's out, at least 4 games.
Do you want to dive into that? Should we dive into the NFL talk now? Yeah. So Dolphins, get beat by Buffalo on Thursday night. Tua, and of all people, he collides with DeMar Hamlin.
Right.
Hits DeMar Hamlin right where T. Higgins hit him.
Right.
And yeah, and
I don't think
falls down.
I don't think that the collision with the neck, I don't think that's what caused it. One, I believe he might have gotten the concussion or something happened on the 3rd pick of that when he got his head hit the turf really hard on that one, and then it also hit the turf really hard after he hit DeMar Hamlin. Kind of like rolled
that
over
makes
his
sense.
hit. I believe one of those is where the concussion happened.
I gotcha.
I don't have any medical expertise telling me that, but that's just what I see.
But again, what are the odds though that it's those two?
It's you couldn't write it. You just couldn't.
No, and again, I saw. It's a bad joke.
Memes.
But, memes. But I also saw one that said, DeMar's KD ratio is now 1:1.
Yeah.
For anybody that's played COD back in the day or any of those games. But I mean, and it's not like Josh Allen looked great for Buffalo. He made one good throw.
No.
But Buffalo James Cook had himself a day. My gosh.
Yep. Miami looked really bad in that.
But now Miami signed Tyler Huntley off of Baltimore's practice squad. I really think that's a very good signing.
I can't believe he was on the practice squad of anybody. I would have thought he'd have been at least a backup somewhere. He's better than some starting quarterbacks.
Who's Baltimore's backup then?
I don't know.
Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. I'm kind of curious. I think if I remember it, it's gonna be one of those where if I see it, it's like, yeah, they got him. Let me look.
Where's that Heldon or whatever hooker from Tennessee?
Hendon Hooker, Detroit. He's Jared Goff's backup. Oh, it's okay. So it's Josh Johnson. Okay, so it's not somebody who I thought it was. I thought it was somebody else. So yeah, okay. Baltimore,
I think he's better than. I think he's better than Josh. I think Brett Hundley's I'm sorry,
Kind of,
Snoop Huntley.
yeah.
Uh, I think
I know
he's
what you
better
mean.
than. I think he's better than probably 5 or 6 starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Anyway,
Again, look at what he did
um,
a couple of years ago. This
yeah,
close, this freaking close to being Cincinnati.
yeah,
It just was a bad. I think who was it? Was it Justice Hill or one of Baltimore's like 7 running backs tried leaping over the goal line? The ball got punched out, and Cincinnati returned it for a touchdown.
yep.
Or was it
I forgot
Hundley who
about.
dove? Might have been Hundley who dove. I can't remember who it was, but regardless, um, so I think Miami will be all right. I really do.
Yeah,
It just think
their
and
next game, they got Seattle this week.
yeah,
I know who else I know they have Indianapolis as one of the games. The Patriots is one. I'm not sure who the other one is.
okay. I
But
mean, Green Bay just beat Indy,
right,
and we did it with no quarterback, with Malik Willis just kind of having training wheels on most of the game.
the the Patriots beat Cincinnati. So I mean, you know,
Yeah,
NFL's
again,
a weird place. All of a sudden, the Saints look great. I don't know.
I know this was just such a weird week,
It
such a
was.
weird week. I mean, again, Packers won with Malik Willis, who only been on the team for 3 weeks, which
Yeah,
made me very happy. And
I'm
also,
sure.
they stuck to the ground game. Um, of course, made Anthony Richardson throw 3 picks. One of them was a Hail Mary, so you can put a little asterisk by the third one if you really want to. But defense played well. Vikings beat San Francisco.
Wow. When 99-yard or 97-yard touchdown
Seven,
pass
yeah.
to Justin Jefferson.
And that wasn't even the most impressive thing on that play. Did you see the ref?
Oh yeah, the ref was fantastic. The fact that he got in front of him and turned around, like that was
I don't know,
insane.
quick change of direction. Somebody signed the ref. I forget what his name is. I did see it today, but somebody go sign that ref.
He
Be
was
quick.
fantastic.
Um, I mean, we talked
Um,
about Baltimore. They got beat by
yeah,
Vegas.
right. Gardner Minshew.
Minshew Mania, rise up.
The Did you watch the Browns Jaguars game at all?
I didn't watch any of it.
Uh,
It looked like, was it like a rainy day in Jacksonville? Like the camera in the field looked weird.
It
I
looked.
don't know
I
if it
don't
was
know. I guess I had like the 4 screen going on, but
okay. I got you.
I just. I know that your Prince, he ain't looking so good. Um.
No, no, but see, they're stuck with him. They can
Yeah.
easily fire. See, I did see. I don't know if I was watching, if it was the herd or I was watching something, but somebody said that maybe they fired Doug Peterson and then Brian Dable gets canned from New York. Bring him in. I mean, he fixed Josh Allen. He made
There's,
Daniel Jones get a big contract.
yeah, that
Um,
doesn't make any sense. Because if I remember, there was a point in the game that like it was later than it should have been that Trevor Lawrence had like 15 yards passing late in the game, but he ended up with 196 yards passing. He was 14 of 30 um, for 220.
Cody, we're taking water on
220 not.
Sunshine Island. We're
Yeah,
taking in water. It's not
it's
good.
it's it's a sinking. Anyway,
I mean, New Orleans went in and beat up Dallas. Holy
bad.
mother of mercy. Alvin Kamara,
Had 4 touchdowns.
yeah, 3 or 4. I mean, I guess when he doesn't have a
I think he
suspension looming
rushed
over
for
his head
3 and
anymore, it's pretty good.
he had,
Yeah,
I think, one.
yeah, because he took a screen pass, I know, to the like 70 yards to the house.
He had 4 touchdowns. So
Holy cow!
it was one rush, two rush, one pass, 3 rushes, and 3 rushing
Receiving
and
touchdown.
yep,
Oh, my
insane,
prayers to anybody that had to play him in fantasy this week. Holy shoot!
insane.
Um, how about Baker Mayfield going into Detroit and beating Jared Goff in the Bucks?
That was a great game too. That was one I watched.
Aiden
Who would
Hutchinson
have
had
thought,
4.5 sacks.
right now, if you're putting MVP candidates based on the first 2 games, who's in your list?
Baker and Kyler Murray.
Baker, Kyler Murray. I'm gonna say my top four would probably be those two. Sam Darnold,
What year is this?
right?
What alternate universe are we living in right now?
And there was another one that I. Oh, and Derek Carr.
I don't like this
Like,
universe that we're living in.
right,
This is weird.
but it's kind of funny. I saw that like maybe how funny would it be if somebody took the signed Zach Wilson or like picked him up
Oh my
and got
word.
him to start, and it just proved like because right now you got uh, Darnold looks competent,
Yep. Former Jet.
Gino looks competent,
Former Jet. I'm sensing a theme
and
here.
if Zach Wilson were to like look competent, it'd be like, oh, maybe it wasn't the Jets, it was, or maybe it wasn't the players,
Damn,
it
it was
was
the
the
Jet. Yeah.
Jets.
Oh my gosh. That would be pretty funny.
Because
Well, and Detroit had Jared Goff throw like 54, 55 times. Not going to win many games doing that.
behind the best O line in the NFL.
Yeah. And you have two of the most dynamic. You have a power running back in David Montgomery and an absolute weapon in Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
Did you see the final play of that game? Like what Detroit tried to run on like the 4th down play or whatever, with like 8 seconds left.
No.
Well, Goff, he was pressured and he kind of threw it a little behind. I can't remember who he was trying to throw to, but he was short of the sticks. I think they were going to try to run a hook and ladder,
Oh, really?
like a la Boise State, and I think it actually was going to work.
It would have worked. Well,
yeah.
Did you watch the end of? Speaking of that, did you watch the end of the Baltimore game? Because the final play,
Yeah.
Lamar took off running.
He had daylight,
and he had a lot of daylight. And I think he had one person to beat, and it's Lamar, and yet he just threw it back. Like,
I know.
I think you're making $1 jillion. I get like you got to be. Then you got to throw the Tua stuff in there. Like maybe I get it, but
it looked like. You remember when the Chiefs ran like the Hill Mary against Dallas? Like how many years ago? That's honestly what that looked like. Is that they had the blockade set, and then Lamar just had to make one man miss, and he chose not to.
Yeah, it was strange. And I mean, like probably one of the most dangerous guy, if not the most dangerous guy with the ball in his hands in space in the NFL.
Most dangerous guy since Mike Vick. I mean, in all honesty. Let's see. Chargers killed Carolina. Herbert looked all right, but
Carolina is making a change at quarterback, which I don't agree with because I don't think the problem is Bryce Young. I think the problem is the whole organization and the whole team. And I think it was Sam Acho said, like, I don't think that the problem is Bryce. Like, I wish I could find the quote. It was something along the lines of, like, by stamping out his lights now, you're never going to get him back.
Not in Carolina, at least.
That's the problem with doing this in this situation is you give up on a guy right now that isn't the problem. He's not the solution, but he's not the problem. He's never going to become that guy for you.
Should have set him all of last year. There was no reason to play him because you knew you were going to be bad.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad for Bryce Young because he was set up to fail anyway in Carolina.
Yep.
They traded all their assets. They traded their number one wideout.
You're going to see. I think we're going to see Andy Dalton struggle more. I think.
Yeah.
He's more of a liability in. At least Bryce Young could move around the pocket.
Yeah, the Red Rifle, his best years had passed, so that's not gonna.
We're at TCU.
Yeah, basically. Well, not like 2 years.
He had it, yeah. Yeah, he was the Red Rifle.
Yeah, but if I'm the Rams, Matt Stafford's reaching the end of his like runway. I think I'd call him up, bring him in, a la what they did with Baker, and then you never know, he could be your future, especially if McVay sticks around.
Oh yeah, so that's a great idea. That is a very good idea. I never thought of that one.
I give good ideas from time to time. Not a lot, but I give a couple.
Seahawks, Patriots?
Yeah. Seahawks won in overtime.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of that game, but I saw DK had a big touchdown.
Did
That's about all I saw though. I don't know anything
yeah.
else from that one.
I saw the field goal to win it.
Speaking of field goals, that's all Washington kicked and they won against the Giants.
7 field goals. The
Yeah, I think,
Giants scored 3 touchdowns.
and I think I saw that they're the first team to score 3 touchdowns, give up no touchdowns, and lose. I don't know if it's since ever or when, but
Insane.
it didn't help them. They lost Graham Gano, their kicker, so they had to bring in like their punter to try to kick, and that didn't work out well.
No. Maybe they should be working on that a little bit. But anyway.
Just a smidge. And I guess, hey, we were talking about the Rams. So they're down Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp just got hurt. And Kyler Murray continued to ball out. Oh, yes. And he remembered he has Marvin Harrison Jr.
Who looked fantastic.
Which really makes me feel old because I remember Marvin.
I do too.
During the heyday of the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyler looks good. Now, well, go ahead.
I was telling my wife that, like, I remember, Marvin Harrison. She's like, I remember that. And I'm like, yeah, he was one of the greatest wide receivers of my lifetime.
Again, it's very rare when a Hall of Famer's son is actually good. Like, in all honesty, it just...
Right.
It's even
Barry
more
Sanders
rare.
Was another one.
Yeah. But it's even more rare
like
when that son might actually be better than his dad.
Yeah. Like Barry Sanders is an example of like a kid that had the name but didn't have the... He didn't have what his dad had, like...
No.
There's a lot of... But that's the first one that came to my mind because I remember Barry Sanders jumping around colleges a little bit.
I mean, look at Dion and his kid. So I'm just gonna. But there's your weekly Colorado mention. But hey, we'll see about Kyler in about 6 weeks. The new COD comes out, so then we'll just see how his play goes as we get there.
The Steelers have looked competent without.
Yeah,
Fields
looks all right.
Justin Fields as their quarterback. I mean, he's not having great games, but
they're winning.
Yeah.
TJ Watt also a problem.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, Kansas City. Holy mother mercy! That was there was stuff that happened that game. There were a lot of stuff that happened that game.
There's a lot.
Jamar Chase got a 15-yard penalty for yelling at the ref.
Yeah.
Apparently using abusive language, quote unquote. And then, what are your thoughts on that PI? I'm just curious.
I could have seen it either way. I guess myself, I could see that getting called. I can see it getting not called. They were both going for the ball, but he did.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of clear contact right beforehand.
Yeah.
And then, Cody, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm going to make an admission. We have a new number 1 kicker in the league. Oh, this hurts to say so much.
Yep.
I saw something today where kickers are 35 of 37 from 50 plus yards this year. There's been one guy that has missed 2, or that has missed the 2. It's the GOAT.
Oh,
it's Justin Tucker.
All of the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. So now, now Harrison Butker is the new number 1 kicker in the league, and I can't believe I just said those words.
He's also the highest paid kicker in the league.
That is true. But yeah, like when they got into range, even that it was going to be like a 50-plus yarder, it's like, yeah, he's going to make this. It's just...
Yep. It wasn't even in question. But that game will actually bring us to my favorite segment of the week, the Decora Pest Control Pest of the Week, specializing in home and business pest removal. Call Cass at 563-419-3251, and Cass offers quarterly and monthly services. He treats for mice, rats, other insects. I don't have the list right now on me, and I'm not looking, but my phone's being weird, so I couldn't look it up.
That's right.
But he's literally, like, he's fantastic at what he does there. He started that off as a side business, and he's doing great with it. And I hope to see it continue to boom. Call Cass at 563-419-3251 and tell him the boys at the Unrelated Sports Podcast sent you. And this week's pest is...
Now, here's a guy that he might think he's the greatest analyst of all time because, I mean, wow, just look at the things how he breaks games down. I mean, just, it's unbelievable. It's Chris Collinsworth. I hate Chris Collinsworth so much. He's so annoying.
He is. He's terrible. I said it on the wrong game, too, by the way. But
you were leading us into... you were, but you weren't. Because Sunday Night Football next week is Kansas City at Atlanta. And oh my gosh, he's going to fawn over Mahomes. It's going to be so bad.
It's going to be terrible.
But I don't think Caleb Williams could do anything wrong. I think he could tie his shoe and it'd be the greatest thing of all time on Sunday night.
It was disgusting to listen to. Who was the quarterback that lost his shoe during the game?
Brock
Purdy.
Yeah, it was
Purdy. Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, I guess we did forget to mention. Yeah, he didn't look great.
No,
he got sacked 6 times too. But okay, so back to Mr. Here's a Guy. So he was just fawning over Caleb Williams, the Bears rookie quarterback, the whole game. The opening throw of the game, Williams just throws a simple, I think it was either an out route or a comeback route. Like, just a simple throw that most starting quarterbacks should be able to make. And he makes the throw, completes it, and Collinsworth is like, that might be the greatest throw I think I've ever seen all year. What are we doing?
Right. Let's prop this guy up even more. Like, I don't hate Caleb Williams, but
I don't either. Well, actually, no, I'm lying. I do.
You do because he's a Bear.
Yes. But every little heck, I think he threw a ball into the ground and it was considered. Oh, actually, no. Romo did that with Mahomes. He said Mahomes threw a ball into the ground. It was the greatest incompletion that he's ever seen. But
yeah,
just
every move he made, there was some incompletions that I saw that he was like, that was such a great throw. Like, it was near nobody.
Yeah.
I
mean, don't get me wrong. He did make a couple good throws that were like, okay, this looks good. But like
there was one
off, that go ahead.
He rolled out and then he got away from pressure and then he threw a pick and he was talking about how great he was. It's like, you realize that he threw it to the wrong team, right? Like, it was a great play up until he threw it.
Well, it's like the play where he rolled all the way to the right sideline and then said, "YOLO, I'm going to throw it all the way to the left, all the way to the left sideline," and got picked. It's like, my gosh,
throwing from the right hash or from the right side to the left, like, that gets picked so often.
About 99.9% of the time,
except for when I'm playing on college football and it's happening against me, then they're going to get completed every time.
Valid point. That is a very valid point. But I don't get it. If I'm NBC, and I don't know, maybe they have something with Chris Collinsworth because, he like owns or runs the Pro Football Focus stuff, which NBC is aligned with. But I give Greg Olson a call today and say, hey, how much do you want to be our number one play-by-play guy next year?
He was the best. He was the best. And
yes. I mean, I was happy because G-Reg was on the Packers game this week with Joe Davis. So, now here is a guy who is our pest of the week, Mr. Chris Collinsworth.
Chris Collinsworth.
Go away. He needs to go away.
He is. I wish he did Monday Night Football instead.
I don't know.
So that I could watch the Manning cast instead of it, because
and it takes a lot for me to hate you more than I hate Troy Aikman. It really does. Because here's a guy, too, that just loves everything Dallas and thinks he was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Like, and the sad thing is, like, I like Al Michaels, but I won't. I just can't.
I love Mike Tirico, and I've even learned to love Joe Buck. He just has this little sarcasm with him. But that's all right. But oh my gosh, I don't know. I wonder if Collinsworth and Williams woke up together this morning or last night.
They
I don't know.
had to have. I,
I
he
just
likes him more than John Madden like Brett Favre.
and that's saying
That's
something right there. Because Cody, you know who could throw just a great ball? Brett
Brett
Favre.
Favre
Brett Favre. R.I.P. John Madden. We say it with love.
for sure.
But so speaking of Aikman and Buck, they did the Monday night game this week. Philly, Atlanta. Kirk Cousins gets a big Monday night primetime win.
Crazy
How?
game. I
How?
don't know. It worked out for my fantasy team. I'll tell you that. I won by like 0.2 points.
Good for you. If I would have started Drake London, I think I would have won. Instead of Tyreek Hill, I would have won. But also, you don't start Tyreek. So,
Right. Even this week, I'd still start him.
Oh, I would too.
I think because he's going to get a lot of screens and a lot of.
And you know the ironic thing of that game is? The Eagles were giving the ball to Saquon early, get him all the way down to the red zone, and then they stopped giving him the ball. And then even stopped passing. They didn't even pass him the ball. Like the routes that they had him running out of the backfield were idiotic. Like they had him running just little like option out routes when they should have had him either running like the little Texas angle routes that that you run on Madden or run on college football, or they should have him running slants, like anything inside, because he was going to cook the linebackers to death. But no, they don't do any of that. And then third down late in the game, Philly has a chance to ice the game away. Hurts throws a perfect ball to Saquon, and Saquon drops it.
Yeah,
they have to settle. Yeah, and then they have to settle for a field goal. They go up 6, and Kirk Cousins has arguably one of the top 5 drives he's ever had. It goes bang, bang, fires it to Drake London on an out route in the end zone, scores a game-tying touchdown, and then London got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, set up a 48-yard extra point from Younghoe Koo, who nothing but money.
Yep. That Koo extra point is what put me up in fantasy.
Nice.
Yeah, because he had the guy that I was playing had who's the kicker for the Eagles?
Jake Elliott.
Yeah, he had Jake Elliott put him up by like a half a point to play, right before that. So I was like, oh, yeah. I just lost. And then Kirk Cousins has the best drive of his career, in my opinion.
It's safe to say you were very happy when Jalen Hurts threw that pick to seal the deal.
No, because I have I also have I have him as my quarterback.
Oh,
so I think I might have been up a little bit. Yeah, I was like, oh God, did I lose enough points? Because I don't think we must not have losing points for an interception.
Okay. Well, because I was just meaning because, then if they got into range, Elliott would have kicked like a 40, 50-yarder. And
yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was a little afraid of that. I was also like thinking that maybe he gets. I was expecting like him to have to rush a little bit and maybe gain a yard or 2 rushing, or 10 yards, 15 yards.
Oh,
I lost you again.
What do you think of Frozen again?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was saying, like, I think I was kind of expecting him to have to scramble and maybe run 10, 15 yards, and that might have kind of sealed it for me, but...
Yeah. Which, the thing is, I think on that pick play, well, one, I can't remember who, I think it was A.J. Terrell, he directed, because I think he was thrown to Devontae Smith, he kind of directed Smith a little bit, he didn't let him cut in front of him.
Yeah.
So that kind of threw off the route a little bit. Because if Smith is able to cut in front of Terrell, I think he makes an easy catch. And then it's an easy first down. So that was a heck of a play by probably a top 5 corner. But yeah, Philly, everything's great after week 1. Everything not great after week 2.
Nope. That was they definitely blew it. Yeah. How short of a leash is any coach for Eagles anyway? But Sirianni, how short of a leash is he on?
I would say at least through the end of the year, but I don't know.
And it's funny. As soon as I said his name, my iPhone lit up because it thought I was talking to Siri.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I said before the year started that he was going to get fired,
You did.
which might be my one of like only like two predictions I get right the whole year. But
It's
um,
already a
hey,
crazy
hey,
season.
hey, and speaking of predictions, Cody, should we get into our picks?
Let's
Which
do
I've
it.
I've I've cut your lead in half after
You
2 weeks.
did. Yep.
I'm proud of
Uh,
myself.
you had
But
what, 10,
yeah,
11 wins?
10
I
right.
had 9.
I think you had 8.
Okay. 10 and 8.
Um, yeah. So before we get going, just a reminder that our pick segment is brought to you by Zip and Zoobs Detailing. Zip and Zoobs Detailing offers a cleaning service for your vehicle, and they don't just do cars or trucks; they also do some ag equipment. If you need your car detailed or know anybody that does, okay, give Ray or Reese a call at 563-380-9772, and they will help you out right there.
Perfect.
Okay, so I think we'll do a better job alternating picks because we were going to do that last week, so we'll do it this week. Um,
Okay.
we'll start off with the leadoff game Thursday night, New England at the Jets.
I hate to do this, but I'm gonna put the Jets.
It's Rodgers' first game, ironically enough, also under the lights, but first game back in New York since he suffered that Achilles injury last year. Yeah, they're not losing this game.
No.
It and also they
What is going
realized
on with
that
the connection today?
I don't know. Oh, also, hey, I guess we did forget to talk about the Jets game briefly. They did win against Tennessee.
Yeah,
Will
I
Levis
do.
made another idiotic turnover, and the Jets remember that Braylon Allen is on their team. Their second round running back from Wisconsin. He's good. Give him the ball. That's not fantasy wise. That's not fantasy inducing.
No,
That's strictly
that's
just saying give him the ball.
yep. They have a really really mean 1-2 punch there.
Yes, I do. Arguably, probably the best 1-2 punch in the NFL, and I'm not joking. I know Braylon Allen's just a rookie, but it's deadly. Actually, Montgomery Gibbs. Sorry, that one's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good
very
too.
good. I'm gonna say obviously there's a little homer in there, but I'm not saying that they're the best. But Mostert Achan is really deadly
That's true
if
too.
they have the quarterback.
Also true. Also very
And
true.
I think that right when he ends up getting into as their number 3, I think he's going to be playing a lot of slot. I think,
Is,
or else Wright's going to be there, and he's the one out of Tennessee.
yeah, yeah. That is it like Jalen Wright or something like that. I
Jalen
think.
Wright, yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he's going to be
Um.
deadly there too. So the next pick is the Giants at the
uh,
Browns.
give me the Browns because Deshaun actually didn't look halfway awful
I
last week.
No, I also have the Browns. Deshaun had some plays that looked almost like the old Deshaun.
Like Houston Deshaun, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though, did you hear
Uh,
that he's not going to be? He said something like along the lines of, "I'm not going to be. I'm more of a facilitator than I am like a playmaker now," or something. He said something like
oh,
that
okay.
seemed stupid to say.
Yeah, he might not be the smartest individual around for many different reasons.
Yeah, that's well established.
Yeah. Um, Packers with or without Jordan Love at Tennessee.
Give me the Packers.
Malik Willis revenge game. You know where I'm
Yeah,
going with.
yeah.
Okay. Next.
Uh, the Bears at the Colts.
Indy.
I also took Indy.
Let's see. Um. Okay. You want to read the next one, or do you want me to read the next one?
I think you read the next one. I answer it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what we've been doing. Okay. Um. Texans at the Vikes.
I took the Texans.
I did too. You know, I mean, they haven't looked that impressive in their 2 wins,
No, but
but I still
they're
think the
still a
clock's
better
going to
team.
strike midnight on the clock's going to strike midnight on Sam Darnold eventually. I think.
Yeah, I
I
agree
mean,
with that.
Josh Dobbs had a fun 2 game run and then eventually crashed, came back down to earth.
Speaking of striking midnight on a team, we got the Eagles at the Saints.
Saints.
Really,
Yeah.
I think that that clock is going to hit midnight on Derek Carr, and I took the
I
Eagles. That might be
I
our
could
first
see
difference so
I
far.
could see that too, but it's I don't know. I don't know what to make from that one. Um Chargers Steelers.
Can I answer who I want to win, or that's a tough one for me. This hurts to do. I'm taking the Chargers.
We disagree again. We're rolling with Justin Fields in Pittsburgh.
Really, yeah.
Except, that's going to be such a fun matchup though. That offensive line against Pittsburgh's defensive line, because
Ooh, that is a very
that
good
rookie
point.
Joe Alt that they have out of what was it out of North? Where did he come from? Northwestern, or where did he come from?
No idea.
But the rookie tackle that the Chargers got, my gosh, he's been insane.
I
Um,
don't.
Denver at Tampa.
I'm going Tampa.
I will as well because we roll with Baker here.
Yeah, and then Carolina at the Raiders.
Minshew Mania, let's roll.
Yeah, I also took the Raiders.
Okay, Cody. I'm going to be honest. We're going to disagree on this one because
What?
Dolphins at the Seahawks.
I'm taking Miami.
I will. I will take Seattle only because two is not playing.
Yeah, I get it. The Ravens at the Cowboys.
Baltimore can't fall 0-3, can they?
I
I don't think they do.
I don't think so either.
If they do, though, oh, sound the alarm.
But
Um, but I don't know. And then the alarm's going to be sound in Dallas one way or another. If they win, it's going to be they're back on top, and if they lose, McCarthy's going to get fired.
yeah, yeah, it's going to be ugly quick there.
Niners at the Rams.
I think that the Rams fall to 0-3.
I do, I do too. They're down so many weapons. Their offensive line's awful. The Niners can't lose again.
Without Cup or Nakua, like that's
Yeah. But I mean, the Niners are without McCaffrey and Debo,
that's true.
but I still think that they'll be able to have their way. Or maybe Stafford just has one of those games where it's like, yeah, this is why I'm going to be a Hall of Famer.
Right.
I do stuff like this. Um,
Detroit at Arizona.
I don't know if this is my head or my heart picking. We're gonna go with Arizona.
I went with the Lions.
I don't know though. I'm curious how the Lions bounce back from
Yeah.
and honestly how Arizona performs after their big win. Um, Chiefs at the Falcons.
Chiefs.
Same. Can't bet against Patty.
Jacksonville at Buffalo.
Well, I said Sunshine Island is taking we're taking water. We're going to be taking a lot more water after this week. It's but I mean, we'll go with Buffalo. I'm reluctantly doing that, but we're picking Buffalo.
I am too. I don't want them to win, but they will.
Okay, and then the second game of the Monday Night doubleheader, Washington at Cincinnati.
I think Cincinnati gets their first win of the season.
I do too, but if they lose,
then it's dangerous.
Yeah, because I mean, Jamar Chase already said that he might not even want to sign an extension now with them.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so everything's great in Cincinnati right now.
Wow.
Joe Burrow just needs to really change his hair color back to actually something normal, I think, and then maybe that's where it starts.
I think that's a good call. He looks a little 90s boy band right now.
Hey, that's tying everything back together, like what we were talking about earlier.
That's true.
Look at you. I'm proud of you.
I didn't do it on purpose. I promise that.
That's good. That's good. So I guess Mr. Greatest podcast co-host of all time, because you make every great point known to man. Do you want to anything else you want to talk about at all?
What the heck is that? I don't think I don't think I have anything other than we have a pretty good we have a few good traditions on our podcast.
We
Like
do. We do. You know what? You were so great at making all those points. You were just, I mean, phenomenal right there. You were just phenomenal. I'm glad I got you to laugh. I told you I was going to have fun with all this.
it's a good time. Um, this week's top five.
Yeah, top five. Yeah, we're going the tradition route with our favorite college traditions, like college football traditions, because
Yep.
I mean those are always so freaking awesome. And
Did,
as always, oh, good. Sorry.
no,
Do you want to
that's
go
what I
ahead?
was wondering.
Okay.
Did you do lick
Okay.
tags?
I will. As always, for longtime listeners, even new listeners here, our top five is brought to you by the boys at Lick Tags Lawn Care, who specialize in complete lawn maintenance and health, snow and ice control. Which again, Cody, we're slowly getting toward the cold part of the season. I mean, I think the temps next week are supposed to be maybe,
They're supposed to dip.
yeah, like high 60s, low 70s, if that. Um, we are dwindling down very, very quick. And they can also help you with any small engine repair, which Cody, you've obviously, didn't you have your mower fixed by them?
No, I just got some parts from them for
Oh,
fixing my mower, but they do. I know that they do small engine repair.
okay. Um,
I believe Ray does a lot of that, doesn't he?
I think
I
he
think
does.
he's
I
pretty good.
honestly think, yeah, I think
He
he
does.
does.
He's good with
Yeah.
small engines. I've heard good. I've heard he's good with a lot of small things. Um,
But yeah, yeah, for any of your lawn care needs or soon to be snow needs, give the boys a Lick Takes a call at 563-203-4238. Got the right phone number again. I'm proud of myself.
it's
Um,
funny.
okay. Do you want to lead us off or do you want me to?
I will start off with I can't believe that this made my top five. Well, actually, you have some honorable mentions, so well, you start out with those.
I do. Um, so just a couple. One is, I mean, we've all seen it. You know, Notre Dame tapping the play like a champion sign.
That's sweet.
That's a pretty sweet tradition.
That is
I
cool.
mean, it always made, and it's always like, you know, especially like us guys, like when you're in high school, or like even now, you always see any sign and you just want to tap it. You always want to jump up and just hit it because, and part of it's always
100% of the
just like
time.
that. I mean, it's always just kind of reminiscent of that. Another one, and this is actually kind of came to my mind because you know how 9/11 was last week, the
Yeah,
23-year anniversary. Well, there was a guy who used to play. I think it was on Boston College's lacrosse team. His name was Wells Crawley. Um, he actually ran into one of the twin towers and tried to save a bunch of people or help save a bunch of people. I think he ended up saving like 12 people before the towers collapsed. He ultimately lost his life. Um, but he used to wear a red bandana like around the house, and I think in his whatever sporting event he was playing. So because of that, and when they finally discovered his body underneath all the rubble, they found this red bandana. Well, Boston College has their traditional red bandana game where they wear a white jersey. The stitching, like by their collar and stuff, it actually looks like a red bandana.
that's
Um,
cool.
so
I
yeah, it's
know
a
that. That's really
yeah,
cool.
pretty sweet tradition.
That's cool.
Yeah. So do you want me to jump into my number five then? You want me to
Sure.
go first? Okay. So my number five, this one's actually it's a newer tradition. It just got started this year at the University of Oklahoma. After the third quarter, they shut off all the lights, at least during a night game. I'm assuming during the day they just start blaring some music, but um, they honored the late great Toby Keith, big Oklahoma fan,
Yeah,
and by playing courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
that's pretty sweet. If it wasn't for if it wasn't Oklahoma, I would like that, but
Yeah,
I do like. I love Toby Keith.
I know.
R.I.P.
Yep.
One of mine, or my number five is actually a school I also don't like, but I think Penn State also known as Pedo State. I actually have it wrote as Pedo State. Their whiteout game. I think that's just
Oh
a
yeah,
sweet tradition. Like I like Iowa's blackout looks cool, but like Penn State's whiteout game is top notch.
especially at night. And what was it? A couple years ago against Michigan, Michigan had to call timeout even on the first play of the game because of that, because the fans were so like rambunctious and everything.
Yeah, it gets crazy.
Um, okay, my number 4 is right before they start the game at Virginia Tech, before the players run out. They blare "Enter Sandman,"
Yeah,
and oh my gosh, it gets you pumped. Like I
that
was
is
listening
also
to that.
mine.
Oh, it is nice.
Yep.
Because like I was listening to that. I think I saw it on Twitter like maybe a week before the college season started, and it just you're just listening to it, and then the fans start singing along, like especially the students, and it gets you pumped.
It does. That is sweet because they kind of like rock back. It's a cool one.
Um. Okay, so you want to add
We
any more you want to add to that one?
Nope, that's perfect.
Okay, number 3. Now this is for a rival of Iowa, but also after the third quarter at in Wisconsin at Camp Randall, we jump around,
Yep.
which is good because that's about when the students are filing into the stadium because they're very late arrivers at Camp Randall.
Yes, they are.
But yeah, I mean it's
They-
cool when, especially like the Alabama players. I think were even getting into it. Now, granted, they had the game in hand, but they were jumping around like when they
it's
were
kind
playing
of
each other
when they're getting
Saturday.
throttled like that. It's got to be kind of demoralizing. Like I don't think
Yeah.
they're as into it. My number 3, I actually went with USC's sword stab. They run in and they stab their sword into the middle of the field.
Okay.
I always
As
like
long as
that
you
one.
don't stab yourself, that's good.
That is a good point.
Okay. Number 2, Army Navy. The winner gets to sing second. It's a very subtle tradition. I mean, I think only really the diehard of diehards of college football probably know that one, but it's one of the coolest traditions in all sports. Like, it just gives you chills when they're both singing their alma mater song, and it just gives you pride to want to sing second to win that game. Then you're the
Yeah,
last ones to sing.
you ended on that basically. That is sweet.
Yep.
I actually put Wisconsin's jump around as my number 2. I do
Nice.
like that a lot.
Jump around.
I think we probably
Okay,
have
so
the same number 1.
does it happen to be from our state, from our wonderful state, sir?
It does.
Okay, I'm just gonna wave goodbye then to you. Yeah, the Iowa wave. I still don't know how exactly they came up with that tradition, how it all started, but it is so sweet. It tugs at your heart when you
It
just
does.
see every player from not just Iowa but from whoever they're playing
Both
waving
teams, yep.
in the
Whole
crowd,
stadium.
and then you see the kids in the University of Iowa Children's Hospital, and it's just like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh.
That is it's heartbreaking and heartwarming at the same time.
Yeah. Well, again, it's such a cool moment for those kids too, like because they're probably looking, and I know that the players probably aren't directly waving at a certain person or whatever, but those kids can probably look and they'll see like Caleb Johnson or Cade McNamara or whoever waving at them. It's like, look, they're waving at me. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, that's
exactly.
so freaking cool.
Kids are going through things that they should never have to go through, and
No.
just that moment of just awesome, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and like it relieves their mind for a little bit of what's actually going on.
Yeah.
I mean, and like you said, not that no, especially that young, they shouldn't be going through any of that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, such a cool tradition. Again, whoever at Iowa, however they started that,
My
shout
hat's
out
off to you.
Yes. So yeah, so we were kind of in agreement on some of them at least. That was kind
Yeah.
of surprising.
Literally number 4 and 1.
Yeah.
We had
Oh.
three of them were the same, so
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Enter Sandman though. Oh, that really does get you.
that is a
It
really
gets
cool one.
it gets the blood boiling. It gets the blood pumping. It's like, oh, let's go. It kind of makes you just want to run out there and hit somebody too. I mean, I'm in all honesty.
I might have to listen
Hopefully-
to that song tonight.
hopefully they can find a way to put that in the new college game. Like, I know they can't because I think
Right.
they actually have to pay Metallica a lot of money to be able to put that in there. But,
Sure.
Um, so that is our top 5.
Sweetness. A lot of you know what players I saw getting used a lot this week?
Hmm.
I saw Miami has one.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the Niners using theirs. I saw the Lions using Parker Hesse as one.
Yeah,
Iowa native.
I think Juice Check caught the first pass of the game, I believe,
Yeah, he had a
for the
few
Niners.
catches.
I mean, and speaking of traditions, you're right. I mean, it's our greatest tradition, I think,
Yes.
for the Unrelated Sports Podcast.
That, or if you want to talk about football.
Well, that too. That too. But I think everybody does know that
Fullbacks are people too.
such a wonderful position.
Majestic sound.
I know. I know. Well, they're such majestic players. They just are.
They are. I love that Parker Hesse has been playing that kind of like he's the backup tight end or second tight end, but he's also been playing fullback.
Yeah. Sucks that he's playing for the Lions, but kudos to him. Kudos.
It's crazy. Otherwise, everybody, like, follow, subscribe, watch, listen, rate, review, talk about us, comment.
And now here's a guy that said everything that you need to hear. I mean, again, greatest podcast co-host of all time. I mean, just look at how he ended it right there. Which is great.
I know you're looking at the top 2. I just know I'm not 2.
That you used my own words against me.
I did.
You son of a gun. Well, on that note, thank you everybody for listening, and we will catch you next week.
Peace.